Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Amey from the Thinking Palette, and thank you Just Jam for inviting me today. Guys, we're going to be making a mandala watercolor bookmark today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So go get your pens, get your paper, get your colors. You can use any a ruler or something just for getting the lines, and of course watercolors to fill in. So do arrange your supplies, guys. Hello Chandni Tolani, and thank you for having me here on Just Jam's platform. So we're going to be making these wonderful bookmarks today. So I'll just show you some of the samples that I have. Okay, so these are the designs that I have made, and we're going to be doing this one today because there's a lot of things in the design itself, and I can show you a little wording as well. What you guys require is this kind of a paper. So this is around 7 by 21, 7 centimeters by 21 centimeters. I'll just type it down. You can take any size, but so that it looks like a bookmark, and I have these pens with me from Brustro, which are waterproof pens, and I have a compass and a pro circle. I'll just show you all how to use it, but when you're doing a free workshop, you can free hand, it's okay if you don't use it. It's perfectly fine. So I'll show you both the techniques so you guys get a better idea. I'm not using a masking tape here, but I'll show you how to apply a masking tape because not everybody might have it here. So guys, let's begin with the actual workshop. So now when you're making a bookmark, usually what you do, you have two options. One is you either paint the entire surface like I have done here, or you put a masking tape and you make a border. So borders look good, or like what I've done here is directly with the pen and the ruler I have just made a border. So let's begin with doing that. Let's make the border first. Okay, so just take approximate. Now if you want to be very accurate, you can take around 1 centimeter borders, or you can just be an approximate figure. Take a thick pen and just make your borders. Okay, even if they're approximately even, it's going to look good, so don't worry. Try to keep them parallel. The video will be saved on IGTV, and it will be available on Just Jam's YouTube channel, so don't worry guys. And so even if you are not at the same pace, don't worry. I will try to cover as much as I can with as much detail as I can. And so if there's any questions in between when I pause, please do let me know at that time. So this way what I've got is a border. Now I know I'll be working in this zone. If you're not very comfortable, then use a masking tape. Okay, I'll show you what that looks like also. So this is a bookmark that's on a masking tape, so this is how it's put. So we can just remove it in the end and we'll get a finished border. Okay, so that's how this is also done. Or like I said, here I straight away made the border, and with that I'll be starting the work. Okay, now here when we're doing this bookmark, there is something written in the middle. So what I do first is I just mark that much space. Okay, I go approximately in the center of the page. With my pen itself, I can just make two lines. So I'm using a 0.2 and a 0.4 micron tip. Okay, I tend to just take the amount of the ruler space and just draw two lines. That way I get them parallel also, and I don't have that issue, where is the paper going to be, what it's going to look like, and all that gets covered in this only. So you all can choose any word that you want, and in between I think Shraddha has joined in. So Shraddha, in between just leave, if there are any comments which I missed, please do help them out. Okay, so I'm just writing a simple word like, see how we've written love, so let's stick to that. How you did it in school, try and do a little cursive kind of a word here. With pencil I'm doing first, and then I show you how to do it, and get the for calligraphy effect. With the pen only, regular pen, you get the effect of a double bevel. So let me finish this and just you're going to be at the same par. Cool. So yeah. Now I'll show you two techniques. One over here with the compass. So if you want to be very accurate, like when we are doing mandalas, actual mandalas, we are very accurate. Okay, we get proper measurements. We do we make custom measurements and stuff like that. So we do all these proper measurements and stuff, when we are actually doing a mandala. But if you're doing just a bookmark, that's going to be fun, and that's going to be, it's going to add a lot of beauty to your book, and you'll never miss the page. Then you can do it freehand. So I'll show you both the techniques so you get an idea. Now if you're doing with a compass, okay, or a pro circle or a protractor, all you do is you take an you take the midpoint of this. Now this is say around 5.4, so like around 2.7 would be the midpoint. So I say somewhere around here. I'm showing you both the techniques so that you guys understand. If you don't have a compass, don't have a pro circle, don't worry, you do it freehand. This is just to show people that how we can actually use both the techniques. Okay, what you do is take one approximate measurement. Either you turn the paper, let's see if I can do it here since the tripod is here. Okay, keep it again in the center. Now it's entirely up to you, what dimensions you want. Normally I tend to twist my paper, it's easier. I'm drawing with a pencil everything first so that I don't make a mistake later on. I can just erase off the lines. Okay, so if you're using a compass, what happens is you get these kind of exact lines. Okay, now this side I won't use a compass, I'll do it absolutely freehand, so you all get to understand the difference between the two as well. Okay, so everybody on pars, give me a thumbs up and we'll go ahead with the next step. When we're doing a watercolor mandala bookmark, we finish the mandala design entirely first and then we paint the watercolor simply for ease. Okay, you can do it later, you can finish the painting and then also use the pens, but then what happens is rubbing off, it can tear off your paper. So I prefer to finish the drawing, rub it off from wherever I need to and then paint the material. Okay, so let's begin guys. Okay, so I'm marking this first circle, the first line. You all can choose your entire design. So when we do a mandala, there are petals and there are lines and different cells which we form, and so the shapes can completely vary. In case my paper is going a little off screen, then just kindly I'll try and just check in between. Okay, so I'm just making one circle first. I'll fill this in later. Let me first make the periphery a bit. Okay, I might change the design a little bit here and there from the original, so don't feel why I'm doing this. I want to try and finish as much as I can, and if possible show you all an entire another mandala as well. Okay, so now by having these lines, I'm much more in symmetry. Okay, there are a lot of people who ask questions. If I turn off the comments, it's going to be a little difficult to see who's asking the questions, but you all can see the IGTV also later on. There will be no comments on that. Now when I've done this, I have to decide some pattern that I need to fill this in. So supposing I'm filling up this with cells. Okay, so I follow one design and I just keep repeating it. I tend to turn my paper as much as possible. Okay, here there is a restriction with the tripod, so I can't do it as freely, but I normally tend to turn the paper. It gives me a better form. If you all do with angles and everything like that, then you get even more accuracy, but just by doing this much also, you're going to get quite a lot of detailing, so don't worry. Okay, I'm filling in the spaces here. You guys can follow the entire design the same that I'm doing. You all can do your modifications also, whatever you all feel like doing. Just try and get a hang of how we make these bookmarks, you know, so that you all can customize your own. Okay, so that gives me one layer. I'm not gone inside yet. I usually just try finishing the periphery and then deciding what is my center going to be looking like. Okay, now coming to the next layer, let's say we start with the first petals. Okay, so now this is more triangular. This was a, you know, more like a cell. So if I'm showing on a rough paper, hang the just give me 1 second, guys. I just got a message that it's stuck. Is the video playing? Can you all hear it? Can you all see this? Okay, let me go ahead. So you guys see, I'm just following the design, and these are like a flower petal, you know. Now what the advantage of making these lines does is it gives me a reference point to work with. Okay, so I go more or less much more symmetrical than I would have gone in a freehand position. So always, if you can, then just use, either you can use a small, you know, instrument like a pro circle, and you can make many circles with that, like you can put this, or you can use a compass. Then you get very good reference lines. Okay, don't, even if you don't, it's perfectly fine. Now next layer, I'm just putting some small petals here. Okay, so that gives me my next row. Okay, hope everybody is following and making their own stuff. Okay, now let's start with the next line. Say maybe I want to make these circular kind of things. What I use is, now I use a reference of the earlier petals. Okay, so where your tip was touching, here your tip was touching, so now I'm just joining the tips. Okay, okay guys, so you all see the symmetry here, that's already setting in. Okay, I'll join this line and then we'll go to the outer layers. Okay, I'll show you the outer layers without drawing the circle, so you get an idea of that also. So always turn your paper as much as you can, because you get a better idea of, you know, you get better hang on the paper. Okay, so let me finish this much part and then we'll go outside. Let me fill this much so that you get an idea of how the paint, you know, mandala is developing. When you're using a watercolor, making a watercolor bookmark mandala, you should see to it that there are enough empty spaces and enough dark spaces. Don't focus too much on the detailing in the design of the, you know, the Zentangles or the individual petals, because that will take away the look. Here we want that emptiness and that black filling as much as possible, so that the color stands out and the mandala just adds the beauty to the book. Okay, so now I'll color these in smaller petals and then I'll show you all a design for both of them. So I'm not going by the exact design as earlier. I am trying to show you all that we can change the design, because anyways I'll put up that photo and you all can just straight away copy, but this is completely new that I'm just making at the moment, you know. So every mandala I feel just comes on its own. It's a very therapeutic and fun process to do, and that's how I do. So let's see. What I'm doing here is I'm just making these lines. Okay, so my cousin Shraddha is there. She will be replying. She is the person that I conduct all my art workshops with. So because I can't see the comments entirely, what I'm doing is a half petal design. Okay, so I'm just adding color to half of this side by lines. Okay, everybody's at par. Okay, I'm just making some small flower kind of a pattern. So one circle, two circle, and like a tripod, like a triangle, inverted triangle. Just make these kind of floral dots and lines. Somebody said they can't see. Is it better now? Yeah. So guys, the video is going to be there on Instagram, IGTV and YouTube on Just Jam's YouTube channel. Okay, so I've just filled in this much and you can see the shape has started already coming in quite well. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I think is this view little better? It's about the comments now. Okay, I'll try and keep it as much as I can about the comments, but the thing is my hand doesn't reach there. Okay, so one. Okay. Alright. So now just following this pattern. Okay. Now I'll show you how I'm doing freehand. Okay. Slowly. Okay, so you saw I drew this line freehand. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. Is this better? Yeah. Okay, so by just following the lines, okay, we get a better effect now. Now on this, let's make the petals of the outer layer. Okay, so I'm just following the same initial design of the petals, a simple petal. Now here I have no reference line. Okay, so I'm working without a reference line, so you get an idea of how it works even without a reference line. You have to try and get them as symmetrical as you can. Here the symmetry is going to go a little bit because I have not used a reference line. But you'll see the end product, it won't make a difference. Okay, so here maybe I'll put just a dot in the center. Now you need to decide what's going to look good on your page. Okay, and try and make the design that way. So here I'm going to be making this very dark, and as it goes down I am lightening it out. Okay, great. Okay, now always when you're going on the outer layer, try and be in the center so you get an idea of where you are. Okay, So you guys saw, without any reference lines, approximately they're all looking very similar. And I'll start filling these now. You need to decide the Zentangle designs. So I'll show you a sheet of some of the common designs I have once I do this a bit. Okay. So now I'm shifting to the original design so that you guys have some idea of what I'm doing outside. Okay. So it's a combination of a new design and an old design. So I use a lot of lines and dots in my mandalas. Yes, the video is going to get saved already. It's going to be on IGTV and it's going to be on the YouTube channel. Can I just slightly turn the paper? This is a little difficult without turning the paper. Okay, so just filling it. Okay, I'm doing nothing, I'm just filling these lines. Don't worry if it's not very exact. When you're doing a bookmark, it's okay. We're not doing the very traditional mandala design. We are just trying to get the effect of the mandala in the bookmark. I hope you guys can see. No, so yeah, now it is 0. I told you I'm using two pens, 0.2 and 0.4. Okay, so some places which are thicker I fill with 0.4. When I want thinner lines I want 0.2. When I started the event, at that time I had already announced that. Okay, so here I'm using 0.2. So if the lines are thinner, I'm using a 0.2. If the lines are thicker, I'm using a 0.4. Okay, I can't see everybody's comments, so in between whenever I check, I just see the... Sorry, I don't have the space up, as in I didn't understand the question. You don't have space up. Okay, so whatever, that you can make the design completely up to you. There is no problem. Okay, this is just an example of a design. So I'll show you some other designs till that time, you know, if you all are drawing. Now see, in this design, okay, the entire mandala is made on one side. Okay, there's nothing up or down, so there is no text here, there is nothing here. Okay, I've just used the designs on two opposite sides and used a warmer color scheme. So it doesn't, nothing is right or wrong, it's about entirely just how you feel like using the design. All right, so let's get back. Another 10 minutes I want to finish the drawing and the colorings, then I can answer your questions and talk to you all. And okay, so again, like I said, somebody had asked, so I now use shift to the 0.4 to fill. Okay, to fill I use a thicker pen. To draw finer lines I keep a smaller tip pen. And like I said, there should be enough white spaces and dark spaces in your drawing, because that's going to show the mandala, not the intricate designs. Okay, the watercolor entire background is going to take away the look of the intricate designs, but if you have good white spaces and dark spaces, you get that effect which you're looking for. So now let me come down inside and make a design here. So again I'm using a thicker pen here. This is freehand again. You can get them online from Amazon also, you get them. Okay. They are brushstroke technical pens. You can use any fine liner. You can use Micron, any fine liner. Just it has to be waterproof since you are using watercolors. Okay. I'll just make one more here. Then I'll make lines and fill it. Okay, so let me fill these with lines. Yeah. And yeah, maybe I'll put the dots here also so that it looks a little symmetric. So what I do is try to keep it in one theme so that it looks as if it's part of the same design. Okay guys, so that completes our top portion, and let's now move to the bottom one. Okay, so here again, like I said, now what we should try and do is just keep the center approximately in the same zone. Okay, so that we know it doesn't look too odd. We are trying to make it as if there is a one, imagine that there's a big circle, so we are trying to keep that design in the same place. Okay, now I actually prefer to work this way because it's easier to build upwards or outwards rather than going down. This is up to you. Whatever you feel like doing, please do that. So here I show you no compass, no nothing, complete freehand. Okay. So you guys realize, that there are flaws going to occur, and it's okay. The ultimate picture will still look really beautiful. Okay, I'm sticking almost to the original design, but here and there I'll shift a bit. I'll just take the paper up 1 minute. Okay. So no, I'm changing the design here. I'm just keeping this a little similar. Okay, the center bit a little bit similar. The rest of it I'm changing it. Okay. Okay. Here I'm making now round circles. So again, just for your reference, if you all want, you all can make these lines with the pencil. Straight away freehand also. And then use that as a reference, okay? This is just to make things easier for you. I'm just showing you why freehand also is good, because we are making designs. Okay, we are not really doing very ideal geometrical work. It's more of a fun activity, and these look very good. They have a lot of personalization to them because they are for yourself usually. Okay, sorry about that. Better? Is this better? Sorry about that. Okay, I think it should be visible now. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So now let's make bigger leaves. Okay. So okay, what you can do is again like this, make one big reference and then just use a pencil. Like this, okay? So you get an approximate idea of where you're going to be. Okay, again I'm just filling this with some petals in between. Okay, you can choose any design. So these usually take around 45 to 50 minutes to an hour at least, I think, if you want to make a pretty decent design. So I'll try and finish as much as I can in the next 10 minutes. The coloring actually will not even take 5 minutes, literally. I hope all of you all are having fun and learning at the same time, and it's starting to look a little decent. So guys, when you're making it, do take your time. Okay, so maybe I'll just make like a band here. Okay, so this actually gives this kind of an effect that there's another flower inside. Okay, so you see it automatically just gives a sudden effect that there's another flower inside. And I'll fill those with lines. So just be very free, just experiment and see whatever you like doing, just do that, okay? And you'll have a lot of fun that way. Okay, and I'll just fill these light spaces in between. Okay, is this the video clear enough? So you see I use a lot of white spaces and dark spaces, which is what I've been telling since the beginning of the workshop. So use those. Okay. Yeah. And Last, let me just make these kind of dream catcher lines which are there in the original drawing also. So you just make dots, you can make some lines, somewhere you keep a connection, and yeah, just join them. So these look like hanging threads also, and they look very pretty, and just keep something hanging from them. Like some pendant or something like that. You can just keep something so that it looks good. Yeah. So that pretty much completes the drawing. Okay. Now let's come to the word, and then we'll start the coloring. Okay. So first, just follow your design, whatever you have done. Then I show you how you need to get the faux calligraphy effect. Okay. Okay. Once you've written this, wherever your strokes are going down, okay, wherever they are going down, okay, just follow the same stroke and make a parallel stroke. Wherever they are going down, okay, here it's going down, so either inwards or outwards, just follow the design and make a stroke here. Wherever it is going up, it has to be one line only, very thin. Wherever it is going down, double line. Okay, I'm not filled yet, I'll fill it now. I'm just showing you. So this is an entirely very brief thing, but actually faux calligraphy is a very vast and big topic. Okay, and yeah, and I just fill them up, and then I rub off the line so you guys can see the entire design. Okay. Guys, do follow me at the Thinking Palette and my cousin Ashada Sato, and we do a lot of workshops and a lot of fun activities. We hold a lot of free demos as well. So please do come in. And again, Just Jam, thank you so much for having me here on this platform. It's a wonderful thing that you guys are doing in this lockdown period that happened, and you all came up with this idea, so thank you. Okay guys, so I'm just waiting for like 10-15 seconds for this to just get a little better dried, and then I can just erase off the lines. Okay, so there is no smudging here. I'll start on the top since I've already finished that earlier. Okay, so this is why I prefer to do the drawing and the pencil work primarily before we actually start the final product, before we do the watercolor, because it just gives me a much more finished look. Even right now, if you see, without any coloring, this looks pretty decent. Yeah? A gel black pen will tend to smudge, that is the only thing. So you have to take a little care. You can't use watercolors after that usually. Let's hope this doesn't smudge. Yeah, pretty okay. Okay guys, so we are at 6:47, so I'll start the coloring. Okay, so I'm using only watercolors. You can use any color scheme, anything that you want, but try to keep the colors light so that they, your pen work doesn't get hidden in that. So let's try to stick to a color scheme like the cooler shades on top, and we can try the reverse also, whatever is okay, doesn't matter. I'm using a 4 and a 7 number brush. You can use any brush, just try to be in the corners. Okay, you have an option of either wetting this entire area, okay, and then applying the color, or you can just apply some color and then start taking it downwards. Okay, so I'll try to show you both those techniques also. Now since I'm not using masking tape, okay, you guys will have to excuse me a little bit if I'm going out of this focus, because otherwise I'll mess up the painting. Yes, crayons will do perfectly fine, all pastels will also do perfectly fine, pencil colors will also do perfectly fine. There is nothing, just see to it that your color is sufficiently light enough to not hide the pen work. Okay, okay, so you see now it's going inside, but the color is sufficiently light enough to not hide the pen work. Okay, so with your water, keep stroking it. Okay, if you feel even little bit it's going a little here and there, just stroke it down. So I hope you guys had a fun session today. We are nearing towards the end. We just have this coloring left, which I told you will literally take me 5 minutes to finish. I used a watercolor paper, a 200 GSM paper that I have. Okay, any watercolor paper you can use. So that completes the top. Let's do the bottom. So I'll see if I can show you the wet on wet technique here. So here I'm applying water in a controlled manner on the paper. Okay, see how I know where my brush is wetting. Okay, I am not going outside the border anywhere. It's a Brustro technical pen that I am using, a fine Brustro fine liner. You can use Micron, you can use any of the waterproof micro tips. Just search doodle pens, also you'll get a list of stuff on Amazon. But these are the ones that I've been using for quite some time and I'm pretty happy with. Okay, so here you can see I'm wetting the paper. Okay guys, I'm not first applying the color, I'm wetting the paper. This is another technique called the wet on wet technique, so you learn something on the watercolor also. The wet on wet I would always recommend only if you're using a watercolor paper, because otherwise it tends to become a big mess. Okay, so here you see there is already water on the paper, so you see this kind of blooming effect. feel free to experiment, guys. The more you experiment, the more you'll have fun, you know. Doesn't have to be exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, add a little orange. Watercolors always tend to lighten a bit once they dry, so just keep that in mind. Okay, and that's pretty much the live demo that we have done today. I just wait for this to dry a bit, guys, and yeah, but I hope all of you all enjoyed. Yes, the colors add a lot of depth to the entire work. So I mean, I don't even actually put anything in the middle. I like these kind of works when it comes for mandala bookmarks, you know, where there is just the design. You know, if you see this, these are just designs. There's no text, but they look really pretty. Okay, the text ones I prefer to keep in such kind of a format, you know, where there's something else, or you know, putting something else, or those kind of bookmarks I write something, or you know, like some of the, just I'm showing you some examples. But yeah, that's pretty much the end result. Hi guys, I hope you all did enjoy the event today, and you all like the end product. I hope you all painted along, and please do tag Just Jam, put it up in your stories, Just Jam official, and do you know, let us know at the Thinking Palette also how you all did. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. So I think we are closing up for today. Thank you, Just Jam, again once for inviting me. So thank you everybody, and good evening. Take care. Bye bye.